When glory is just a feeling, I believe that that feeling of being a winner, of enjoying glory, is something every one of us wants to experience at least once in our lives. If anyone says they've never wanted it, I think they're lying. I remember from a young age how excited I felt when my test scores were higher than the person sitting next to me. A little older, who wouldn't be overjoyed when they won the heart of their secret crush. And now, as an adult, I still feel a sense of smug satisfaction when my work results are better than my colleagues. That kind of victory, while a bit self-centered, I believe is the most refreshing form of glory if it's earned through your own ability. Hello, my little knowledge-loving flowers. But I've come to realize that this kind of glory is much easier to attain today than it was in our ancestors' time. A person can fully enjoy that feeling without having to put in a lot of effort, passion, or willpower. In my opinion, there are two main factors contributing to this. Old methods are no longer effective when compared to modern tools. Technology is developing at an incredibly rapid pace. Maybe you vaguely sense this, but haven't fully understood the reason. I was like that too. I think back to ancient times. Our ancestors also wanted to feel powerful and heroic, but to do so, they had to train their bodies and master martial arts. But mastering martial arts was so arduous, it took years to become skilled. When would they become a master of all 18 kinds of weapons? It was incredibly difficult, but our ancestors had no other choice. We, on the other hand, have so many. Thousands of games of all genres, from Chinese wuxia to Western knights, with countless powerful skills and legendary equipment, are at our disposal to sweep through the martial world. No one in this world is as great as I am. Thanks to technology, it has created a whole legion of these heroes. Or perhaps you want to feel wise and full of knowledge, but studying is boring and knowledge is infinite. What can you do? I realized it's actually too easy. You just need to find a trending topic, copy and paste a lengthy comment from Wikipedia that encompasses the 4 books, 5 classics, and the 100 schools of thought, and use it to overwhelm people who disagree with you. You're not wise enough to understand the full meaning of my comment. Again, thanks to technology, a whole bunch of these scholars are created. Or maybe you want to feel like a conqueror, surrounded by countless women, but you're not rich, not handsome, not smart, and have no special charm. So what do? It's okay. I believe the God of self-gratification will bless us. We just need to open our computers, access porn sites, and freely experience thousands of beautiful hot girls. Whatever you want, you can have it with just a click. Here's the tissue. Go as many rounds as you like. Once again, the power of technology has created a generation of conquerors. The problem is that glory is an illusion. It's not real. When you're caught up in that blissful feeling online, a power outage or a slow internet connection can cause that glory to vanish, and you're sent back to reality as a loser. I once reflected on a historical story. Genghis Khan, the leader of the Mongol Empire. He conquered half the world. Naturally, as a ruler, having hundreds or thousands of concubines was normal. The legacy he left behind is nearly 20 million people carrying his genetic code, which is beyond imagination. But he probably never imagined that with the advancement of technology, a young teenager could conquer thousands of women just like him, with only a few taps on a smartphone. While Genghis Khan had to fight in thousands of brutal wars to achieve that, the young boy only had to sit in his room. The biggest difference, I think, is reality versus illusion. Genghis Khan had real descendants, while the boy ended up with nothing more than a used tissue and a flush down the toilet. In my opinion, if you want to live in an illusion, that's your choice. But if you live in an illusion and consider it normal and millions of others do too, then don't ever complain about men losing their value or wonder why you're always a loser. Everything comes at a price. Life has a balance. Relationships and my ego. A friend once asked me, what should I do to be liked and understood by everyone at work? That question made me think a lot, and I've come to realize a simple truth. No one is obligated to understand or love you, especially in the workplace. Your mean boss and lazy colleagues have the right to ignore you and look down on you. Who are you to demand otherwise? Only you can truly love yourself. If you're lucky, your parents might. If you're fortunate, they will worry about you and care about what you're doing, thinking, and feeling unconditionally. Other than that, I believe there's no one else. Hello, my little knowledge-loving flowers. I've noticed that I used to waste my energy and mind on two things at work, constantly trying to guess what others thought of me, trying to get others to understand and empathize with me more. I ask myself, have you truly understood yourself? I didn't even fully understand myself, so why would I expect others to? And if they don't understand, how can they empathize? Don't think you're so important because others are also very busy with their own thoughts and lives. Love or hate, it's all temporary. So when I was chasing what others thought and hoping for their understanding, I felt like I was constantly at a dead end. I came to accept the harsh reality that no one cares about me as much as I think they do. And that's okay. Only my parents truly care about me unconditionally. I remember on my birthday, I would celebrate with friends and colleagues, but I would forget to send my mom a message saying, "Thank you, Mom, because on this day, you gave birth to me despite the danger." I know that the gateway of life and death is full of risks, and it's a great blessing to have a healthy mother and child. Yet, I was indifferent to the people who truly loved me and instead put all my effort into fleeting social relationships. I realize how foolish I was. I've learned that over time, no one will stay by your side for long, especially when you fall on hard times or get sick. Everyone wants to share the good times with you, but no one wants to suffer with you. When your life starts to flourish, remember to share your success with those who endured hardships with you, because they are the ones who deserve it. Other than them, I believe no one is obligated to love or empathize with you. Who am I? Who am I? What will I become? This is a question I have asked myself many times. Hello, my little knowledge-loving flowers. When I was a student, I loved going to corporate conferences, but the tickets were expensive, so I'd find ways to volunteer as a collaborator or a receptionist just to sneak in for free. I would stand in a corner, and of course, no one knew who I was or cared to know. Occasionally, someone from the audience would ask me to grab them a bottle of water or some documents. 15 years later, I have a seat at those very conferences. I walk in confidently, no longer having to sneak in. At this point, my ego started to swell and my need for recognition and respect skyrocketed. I would feel upset if no one recognized me. I would want to grab the microphone and show off my knowledge just so people would know who I was and how smart I am. Just because my status changed, my ego grew and I became afraid of not being recognized. I felt I no longer had the same carefree desire to learn as I did in my student days. I had become a book already filled with writing with no room for new words. I was consumed by my own ego for quite a while until I started to feel tired of my life, even though I lacked nothing. Then one day, I lost everything. I decided to delete all my contacts and return to the person I was before, a blank page. It's been over 4 years now, and my phone only has about 20 contacts. But I feel that the fewer names in my contact list, the freer I am. Even now, if no one recognizes me or admires me, I feel it's perfectly normal. I started sharing these thoughts as a way of releasing my own burden, and also for those of you who, like me, are searching for the answer to the question, who am I? You might ask, so is there any point in trying to succeed? I still want you to strive to earn money because that's the foundation of everything in life, and become everything you want to be. Because when you reach that goal, you will find your own answer. You will realize that happiness and freedom don't require a lot of money or a lot of fame. That is true contentment. If you claim to be content when you have nothing, that is just self-deception. So keep being that pure blank page, eager to learn until you reach the peak, have everything and know everything. Then you'll reflect and see that in the end, everything was just a blank page, an empty hand. At that point, the practice of letting go truly becomes complete, and you are no longer controlled by greed and anger. Go experience it all, and you will see that who am I is a question that was never meant to be answered. I am no one. I am nothing. I am just a completely normal person with nothing special about me. Form is emptiness. That's not just a fancy phrase.